Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming. Let's see, we got Nathaniel Bow Cluster Hopper, Satella channel. Got 7 people watching. Thanks for coming. Oh, you have this kit, Satella. Yeah, it's a pretty janky kit. That's why I decided to paint it model Mayhem style. It was a good low risk kit to practice on. How's everyone doing today? Let me know how the mic volume is and the music. I added some different music for this stream. Hello, Tyler. More people than I thought have this kit. Interesting. Trying out some new brushes today too. I just got these from my local store. Gadzooks Gaming. I don't know if that's only a local business or whether they have a website. I never heard of them before. And yeah, since this is kind of like a low risk kit, like experimental, maybe less of an experiment, more of just like a kit for practicing using some of my old paints. So I'm gonna try and put on this scaly green in a very old Citadel pot, but the paint isn't dried up yet. I had to add a bit of water, so it's probably gonna need a bit of a mixing. And yeah, I guess I'll just like get right into the painting. I don't see why not. If anything goes wrong with the stream, any technical issues, just let me know. If you have any questions about the kit or the painting, you know, let's just fill up that chat with that text. Yeah, that's true, Satella. That's why I asked BlueParappa if I could paint this one. Well, in this wolf one in particular, his legs, like this piece on the leg is extremely flimsy and just the stability of the kit is awful, so it seemed like a good contender for the model Mayhem style. I'm not putting him on a base, but I did glue parts of the legs just so like the ankle piece would stop falling off constantly. And yeah, I'm just kind of gonna start blocking out these colors first. This scaly green is gonna be the main color. The question is where to block it in. I think probably, well, this band here, that's gonna be our black color like I do with the other mix. And you can see I did do some dry brushing on the metallics. So I think probably this area and this area will get the, oh, but we also have I was gonna do some kind of gold and yellow sections. No, Bo, this was, it was just like a really hasty priming job I did yesterday, so I didn't want to bother with the fumes, so I just used my Vallejo surface primer acrylic. You know, it's a low risk project, so I want to save the G paint I have for like the more like showcase projects, if that makes sense. Okay, we'll do this part black, that part turquoise, and then that part will attempt our gold trim color. And then I'm not sure what color I want the hands to be. Probably, okay, I'll probably do like some part of the hand turquoise and some part black. Yeah, there's lots of color decisions that I haven't made yet on this, but I'll just start putting paint on it and we'll figure out the rest later. And of course, it's like the really early base coat, so I don't have to worry too much about being messy, which is nice. And yes, I probably should be wearing a glove, but it's a pretty casual project. I don't want to get a really clammy, sweaty hand just yet. Yeah, if I was painting like a the next like master grade I paint, or maybe the next like 1/44th scale kit that I paint in model Mayhem style, I'll probably prime it with G paint like I said I'd do in my Barbatos video. Krylon Fusion as a primer. No, I've never heard of that, anyone using that primer before. If it melts or bonds to the plastic. Yeah, I don't need gloves, Bo. Glad you agree. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it in focus. And now I think I do have to decide on what to paint the hand. I don't know. I think I'll probably do like this section with the turquoise, and then probably leave the inside of it black, or like fill it in with black. You know, I think I'll just come back to that hand later and just postpone that decision. I might change my mind depending on how I block out the color in other areas. Is anyone else watching, working on any hobby stuff today? Also, if I for pretty old paint, this one is covering okay, but definitely have to do 2 coats. But that's what I always do, or almost always. Oh, and my Fenrir, this is the sword from the Goof custom kit, if anyone's wondering. I just wanted to give it a sword instead of the gun he has, because I figured the gun might be better used on a different kit bash down the line. The wolf with the sword just seemed a bit more what I was feeling. Oh, Tyler, you're also working on kit bashing a Fenrir. Did you break out the kit just because you saw I was painting it? And yeah, Super Gnome Grinder, it's the series it's from is LBX. And it's called, this kit in particular is called the Fenrir. It's kind of like somewhere in between the quality of an SD and a high grade. It's pretty flimsy. But it looked like it'd be fun to paint, so here I am. Yeah, Bo, that's erasing those seam lines makes a big difference. It is a little tedious, though. But those Goof shoulder pads deserve it. Yeah, this scaly green I happen to be using looks pretty similar to the kind of turquoise color this kit had originally. I'd say I will be changing the color scheme fairly significantly, but yeah, it'll still have similar colors. Maybe just blocked out in a way that's more my taste. Carefully setting these down in a way where the wet paint won't touch the mat. do have some sticks and alligator clips off to the side, but paint dries, or this acrylic dries fast enough. Just being lazy and putting it down right in front of me. Hope you all like the new music I've got in. Using a different music service now, and music's like good enough that I like listen to it just, you know, as music. Alright, let's just perch that in a way where it'll dry properly. There we go. Should do the same with this. Okay, I think what's probably most important next is to block off the colors on the torso and head here, just because they're gonna be the most prominent, or like where the eyes are drawn to first, so we gotta make sure we nail the color placement. Welcome to all the new people. I see we've got 13 viewers now. Now, let's see. There's a lot of potential for a color separation on the head here. But some of it is going to be kind of a brown gold color, probably here, here, and here. So let's see. Then we could do black here, and okay, we'll do scaly green on this top piece then. We'll start there. Good enough place to start, I think. And when I airbrushed this yesterday, I also I airbrushed on the metallic bits, just with a base coat of like a dark metallic color I had mixed up from I used it for the inner frame of the Gundam Flauros. It's like a mix of Secret Weapon, Dark Iron, I think, and Shifter paint. And then I just dry brushed that with some Army Painter plate mail metal, I think it was. No, I used an old Citadel paint. I think it was Mithril Silver. I just gave it a basic dry brush because the focus on this project is the colorful, vibrant parts, not the metallic parts. The metallic parts are just there to complement and give it some mech flavor. The series that these LBX kits are from, they're kind of like tiny robots that fight, so I think the scale for them is like 1-to-1 scale technically. So they're just tiny mechs. The name of the big red model that Jess had on his video today. I'm not sure what video are you talking about, Bo? And Super Gnome Grinder, this isn't gonna be for Gamma Wolves. This is more just to like paint and practice a few things for model Mayhem style, and this model will be shown briefly in my next video. Don't know exactly when that's gonna come out. Hopefully not too long. But no, I'm not putting this one on a base, so it's not gonna be for Gamma Wolves, but you know, I could always change my mind sometime down the line and put it on a base after. Is that the part we want? Turquoise. Already started painting it, so I'll just keep going. Yeah, I think the color separation I'm gonna do, it makes sense to paint that part. So then we'll go black, and I think we'll do that part gold then. And let's see. I think we still want to have like majority turquoise. Okay, maybe Okay, that should stay black, and we'll paint this turquoise. That probably makes the most sense. I'll probably have to take the head off soon. Yeah, BlueParappa has a few of these LBX kits that I'll post pictures of sometime. And I thought about kit bashing some of them together, but this project's more about the painting than the kit bashing. But, you know, still had to give it a different sword because, you know, you gotta have at least a little kit bashing in every project, am I right? Okay, let's just let the head dry for now. Take that off. Let's just move these arms to the side. We don't need them right now. And let's just start blocking out we want the big sections on this torso to be the turquoise because that's our main color. Definitely, I might need like more than 2 thin coats for these sections just so the like overspray from the metallic and dry brushing doesn't show through too hard. And this turquoise will definitely be going up to that line, and then we'll switch to black. Yeah, you should try it sometime, Super Gnome Grinder. It's pretty rewarding sometimes. It's frustrating sometimes too, but it's also a lot of fun. But you know, don't ease your way into it. Do it when you're ready. Nothing wrong with just enjoying the kits out of box. I've got some thoughts on that you'll see in my upcoming video. Which I'll keep the release date of ambiguous as usual. I wonder how old this pot of paint is. It's holding up very well, I'd say. Let's focus on finishing the back here. Oh, there's some fibers painted onto the Mini there. Need the tweezers. Oh, I was doing this with my croc guard too. It's like a constant problem I have. Almost got it. You know what, they'll just have to stay on the other side, I think. It's not a big deal. Okay, and then we'll probably keep this section as our main turquoise as well. That little bump that's sticking up though is gonna stay black or become black. Yeah. Yes, the Master Grade Sasabi Verka. That's a pretty legendary gunpla kit from what I hear. It's one of those ones that gets recommended a lot just for being like a really, like the build experience of that kit is just very iconic in gunpla, and it's just like really big beefy kit with lots of opening hatches and stuff. I'll probably build one day. It's a big kit though, like a lot of people do some pretty impressive customizations with it, but it's just one of those projects where realistically it's gonna take months. And I feel like I'm not at the proper builder skill level yet to fully appreciate that one. Which is subjective. Hopefully I'm not moving it out of focus of the camera too often. Okay, now these sections in the middle. These bits are gonna be glowing, I think. Maybe the best solution is to paint this part turquoise. Yeah, everything else would be black, and then this little sticky out part can be the gold color. Either that or the turquoise continues with this section. But then, yeah, no, I want those parts to be black too, so many decisions to make. I suppose this is the kind of thing that could have been planned ahead of time with like line art and Photoshop. But sometimes I like to just wing it. TK Slice, well, I've got a thing to do in a few hours. Usually my streams are like around 2 to 2.5 hours, so probably gonna be something like that. I'd like to hit at least 2 hours, and I'll see how I feel after that. Oh, Tyler, you painted your custom goof all rusty. Nice. Bet that looks cool. I'm gonna take a look at the leg sections to help me plan out what's gonna be. Alright, this waist guard's gonna stay turquoise, so I think paint those accents on the crotch area black. Or will I? Not these ones on the edge, but this one, and then the ring around. And then let's see, everything else can be turquoise. Maybe this like faux belt can become black. I don't know, let's just switch to painting this leg, and then probably as I work on the leg some more, I'll get a better idea. Plus I need more paint to dry on the torso. Yeah, that's true. That's how it works. Red ones go faster. Can afford to be messy everywhere except around this rivet I dry brushed. Oh, and of course I gave the metallic sections a quick wash of good old glossy Nuln Oil. Just, you know, for a little bit of help, just a little bit of cheat sauce. Or liquid talent, as they say. Oh, what up, Gunpla Talk Show? Thanks for stopping by. Is this, is it Jess from Gunpla Talk Show, or is it someone else? Yep, that's right. Come to this stream to find out, or see the raw, unedited process of model Mayhem style. I'm using lots of old, janky paints on this one too. It's an experiment. Specifically, there's like a kind of golden brown color palette I'm gonna use on some of the accent sections. I'm not sure how it's gonna turn out. You know how I do. There's only one way to find out. Yeah, I assumed it would be Jess. The main boy. Sanosuke has a... I don't know if it's a real grade Sasabi or the master grade Verka, but she's painted one in her like hand painting style, and it's pretty glorious to look at. Okay, I don't need to fuss too much over the inside of this panel. It's not really gonna be visible. Don't need to get caught up in that stuff. Let's see, gonna just keep this turquoise going. Whoops, got a bit on the metallic. Let's wipe that up. Whew, that was a close one. Yeah, that's funny, laid off gamer. I know the struggle of having too many hobbies. So, glad I could enable you, I guess. And yeah, Super Gnome Grader, I don't know if you were here earlier, but this is the color I'm using. It's a really old Citadel paint. Scaly green. But yeah, I'm just calling it turquoise. And I like how it looks. I did have to pour a bit of extra water into the pot and let it sit for a couple days just because it was getting close to drying out, but it wasn't quite there. I still got many years left in this paint pot if I just keep taking care of it. Oh, is your Super Gnome Grinder, is your Space Marine a custom chapter, or is there a chapter that has a turquoise color scheme? I can imagine having fun painting a Space Marine with a similar color to this. Oh, and laid off gamer, what kits did you get? What have I influenced you to buy? We'll let that dry and let's just move on to the other leg. Do the same thing. I'll just do this inside area a lot faster this time. Alpha Legion, that's the one I was thinking of. Nice. Glad to hear you're making your own characters. That's the proper way to war game. Just forge those strong emotional bonds with those little pieces of plastic you painted. Give them names. Get sad when they fail their armor saves and die. I'm kind of missing having a painting handle to use right now. But at the same time, this base coating stage is very relaxing. Nice, congrats, laid off gamer. Those seem like some solid kits to start with. And hopefully you can find some cool crossover aspects with the new hobby and the other hobbies you picked up before. You never know. Having too many hobbies isn't exactly a problem, you know? It's like too much of a good thing. And now let's paint that turquoise thigh. I don't know if I'm gonna be paint all the turquoise in one go before I switch to the next color, or get bored of painting turquoise and switch to a different one before I'm done painting all the turquoise sections. That's more likely what's gonna happen. It's more my style. Alright, do we go back to the torso now? Whoops. Let's put these somewhere safer where they won't fall over. Yeah, you're right, Bo. It is like chocolate and peanut butter. Yeah, that's the thing, laid off gamer. Once you build some Gunpla models, then like the Games Workshop or not, just miniatures in general, you're like, man, I put up with a lot more hardship than I realized. And I'm assuming it's pronounced Lido. Yeah, I figured that seeing an LBX kit in the thumbnail would surprise some people, so I'm glad you noticed. How much green stuff would it take to embellish a Nurgle Gunpla? Probably a lot. Which model would I use for as a base? I don't know, like Goof or Zaku's look pretty Death Guardy, so that's what my instinct would be, but I'm more of a Slaanesh and Tzeentch kind of guy. I don't like the Nurgle, they're gross. I'd rather be a fancy Slaanesh boy if I had to pick. Okay, yeah, we'll just paint this little triangle area turquoise, and then everything else on the side will stay black. And we'll just go with that for now. I shouldn't worry too much about it being the most optimal placement. I just need to do it. Just let the paint flow. Alright, let's get to base coating these hips now. And if me posting this one LBX kit here has a bunch of you wondering or like curious about more LBX, I do have BlueParappa has more LBX kits, and I will definitely post at least some more photos of them and then over the next little while, so you'll be able to see more than just this one wolf kit. It's a pretty interesting line of model kits. But as far as I've seen, they're all kind of like around that high grade range of quality, or like I said before, kind of in between an SD and a high grade. You know, they're not that expensive, but you shouldn't expect too much crazy engineering or sculpting from them. Yeah, let's just paint this part turquoise as well. It's our main color, we can just get it all over the place. It's a little overzealous with the turquoise on this bolt though. It might have to be something we go back and fix later. So far this brush is performing about as well as I would think it would, based off how much I paid for it. It wasn't too expensive. It's got the nice triangle grip. Yeah, I'd say for now I'll probably lean towards just putting on more turquoise than I think I need. Because I can always paint over it later if I change my mind on this project. I can afford that flexibility. Gotta make sure I don't touch the wet paint. Yeah, some of these panels are kind of blending into each other, making it a little hard to decide where to block the colors. I think if I just paint a straight enough line, it won't be an issue. Just create my own panel line with a paintbrush. Oh, sorry, I missed your message, Bo, but thanks for stopping by. Glad I could help. Hope to see you again next time. The Devil Gundam, yeah, that could make a good Nurgle Gundam. Ah, glad to hear, Gundam fandom. Thank you very much. And yeah, you can definitely support hand painting Barbatos Lupus. So good luck. What colors are you gonna be hand painting your Barbatos Lupus? It's one of my favorite parts of painting the models, is just deciding what colors to paint them, planning it out. Okay, let's just let this dry for a bit. Let's put it somewhere safer. Okay. Let's go back to the leg. And we'll just keep putting turquoise on it. Hello, White Wolf. Glad you can make it. Thanks for coming by. I was hoping you'd come by, you know, being named White Wolf and everything, and I'm painting this wolf-themed robot. Okay, that's gonna be black, so this is gonna be turquoise. Hello, Brumbot9000. Thanks for coming. Does anyone else work on any kind of robot or miniature of any kind today? Or any hobby-related thing? Anyone else get super excited about the Total War Warhammer 3 news this week? Because I sure did. The Crescent Moon Barbatos Gundam. That sounds pretty cool. It'd be cool to have a Tekkadan jacket. Just to like wear in real life. Root out the hidden Gundam fans in public. Because your jacket will catch their eye. Do you mean like a 4-player co-op campaign laid off gamer? Yeah, TK Slice Cathay are beautiful. I really like how they look, and yeah, since they were announced as a race like a while ago, the whole time I've just been waiting. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see what those look like. I don't know what to block off in this area, whether just paint it all turquoise or not. I think I'll just do it all turquoise. I don't need to overthink this project. I don't need to fuss over the details. I kind of need to speed paint it, to be honest. Like I said in some of my posts or the description, it's like model Mayhem practice time, essentially. Yeah, that one looks pretty cool, Super Gnome Grinder. I think that one's like a high resolution model, or from that line, so it's like kind of half action figure, half model kit. Yeah, I'd never seen that design of the ashtray before. It's nice and silly, I like it. Or like, maybe not silly is the right word, like over the top, perhaps. Yeah, 4-player campaign, that could be fun. Just have some friends over, have like a Total War weekend marathon. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be playing that like Dragon Characters campaign first when that game comes out. Kislev looked pretty cool too, but not as cool as Cathay for me. As soon as I saw the Cathay like soldiers, I just immediately wanted to paint mini versions of them. It's right up my alley. Oh, sorry, I bumped the mic. Oh, nice, you have the Tekkadan cosplay jacket. Where'd you get it? Yeah, exactly. Half the reason why I can like get through the campaigns is just like knowing how to cheese the AI or save scum. Those campaigns can be really unforgiving, or just like really unlucky sometimes. That's why I like watching Legend of Total War. I'm all for that cheese. Cheesing the AI, that is. Must refill the turquoise. Oh boy, I've been streaming for almost an hour already? It doesn't feel like that. Time just flies when you're painting and having fun. I'll probably paint the block the turquoise onto all the pieces, but then switch to another color before I put on the second coat of turquoise, just to give myself a little break from that color. Because giving all the pieces a second coat after painting the first coat of turquoise, I might get a little tired of it. So that's how my painting style works. I can't do the same thing for so long without getting like a little mini burnout on that specific color or that whatever specific area I happen to be painting. I like to take mini breaks by painting different areas and coming back to the one that's half finished. That works for me most of the time. Sometimes I just power through. Get it over with. Okay, those legs need to dry. I think the last sections we have to paint turquoise now are just these shoulder pads, or shoulders. So we'll do that and then we'll probably move on to probably the brown base coat I'm going to be using for some, I guess you could call it a non-metallic metal experiment. I'm not like, I wouldn't say I have like a mindset of painting non-metallic metal. I'm just like painting in my model Mayhem style, but I'm using colors that would be similar to a non-metallic metal gold. Now, how am I gonna block out the turquoise on this? Probably, okay, I think we'll do, maybe the brown along the trim. It's hard to say actually. Well, the bicep part, I think I definitely want to do that turquoise, so I'll start with that. I don't want to overdo it on the brown or slash gold color because I'm not entirely sure how it's gonna look next to the turquoise, and it's gonna be like black is the secondary color, like how it is on my Gamma Wolves mix. I'm just gonna be highlighting it with a different mix on this kit, just like so I can experiment with some other colors. And it's gonna have some like magenta glow effects. That's probably like what you would call the accent, or like the final accent color. That's good to know, White Wolf, that you can make it to the Saturday streams. I still don't have any kind of regular streaming schedule, and I don't know if I will have one. It'll probably just be like, well, I am available to stream today and I have something I need to paint, so I'm gonna stream. I'm still figuring everything out as I go, you know? Oh dear, this paint is almost a little too wet. I'm making mistakes. And yeah, there'll probably be some metallic sections that need a touch up when all the base coats are done. Ah, Gundam Fandom. That's cheaper than I thought it would be for a Tekkadan jacket. Yeah, laid off gamer. It'd be cool if like Warhammer the Old World is a decent enough game for it to make an actual comeback. Oh yeah, 4 a.m. bedtime, switching to a 4:30 a.m. wake up. That's a rough transition. White Wolf. Okay, so we'll do gold on this section. Let's just compare it to the torso again. So I'm sure. Yeah, and then we'll do turquoise on this top part and then black on the other part. That'll probably be a good enough balance of everything. Alright, hopefully that doesn't look too bad when everything's blocked out. I actually do need to put this piece to dry properly with the alligator clip. Yeah, we just need a little bit more turquoise. Yeah, it must have been rewarding to finally get that hobby time in, White Wolf. Glad to hear you're adjusting. It's always a struggle to fit in hobby time. You gotta work another job. Something I always struggled with. I'm still in this weird purgatory right now where YouTube's kind of my job, but not really. So I'm not making enough money with it to like call it a living. Maybe one day. But also maybe one day I'll have to go get a job and adjust my schedule. 2021 is a hard year to plan in because everything just changes all the time. Alright, so I think this entire tail will be the brown/gold color, so let's just get to base coating it. I think this one we're definitely gonna need to just put it on a skewer the whole time. Otherwise it's gonna get some fingerprints on it. And the base we're gonna be using is this snakebite leather. Is it dried up? No, we're good. Oh, you know what? I forgot to change the title on my little graphic on screen here. Let me do that now. I'll just do it live. Logo and title, is that where I do it? project name. So I'll just call it LBX Fenrir. It's not aligned properly, but that's good enough for now. It's like the polar opposite of the refined edits of my regular on-channel videos. And then on stream, you get to see it all the haphazard nature of the Hobby Mayhem. The Hobby Mayhem stream, that is. Oh, now the nice turquoise water is gonna become a swampy green after mixing in this snakebite leather. Oh yeah, that's gonna need a few coats. In hindsight, I could have primed this in a different color, but you know, everything else was getting primed black, so I wasn't gonna switch paints or switch colors. We should have put a lot more paint on the palette to start there. Yes, the joys of painting light colors over a black base coat. No regrets. Maybe a little bit of regret. Too late to do anything about it now. You know how it goes. Every model has this stage of painting called the ass phase, where everything just looks bad. You just gotta power through it. One thin coat at a time. I thought about painting the tail kind of like a blue-gray with a blue-gray base, but I thought that would introduce too many new colors into the palette that already kind of has enough. Could have fixed the seam line on this tail as well, but I think that would like defeat the purpose of this project kind of being just a quick practice of painting techniques project. It's very much another last minute spontaneous project like my high grade flower rose was. If you would have talked to me last week, I would have had no plans to paint this LBX. Okay, we'll let that dry for now. Now let's go back to the head. Alright, we'll do the torso and then we'll stick the head to the torso and then paint the head. And this is just gonna have a couple sections that need the brown. You bought drawer lines for your benching cabinet. Ah, that's annoying when you have to go back to the store for something like that. Okay, and the next section that gets the gold will be here. Haven't done the black base coating in this area yet, so I can afford to be messy. And that's probably the only gold sections on the torso. So let's get that head back on. 25-minute walk, that's a solid walk. Yeah, gotta get those steps in somehow. Probably my favorite part about this model kit is the head. It's just like a cool angular design. No, it's not a miniature, Ethan. It's a Bandai model kit. It's from a series called LBX, or Danball Senki in Japanese. It's kind of like in between an SD and a high grade. So they're pretty cheap, somewhat flimsy kits. But I'm painting it like a mini, 'cause that's what I like to do. Whoops. Yeah, I thought there are some panel lines here. I'm not sure how I want to separate the color. I think I'll just cover it all in the brown now, and I can always go over it with black if I want to add more separation. I don't have to worry about too many layers of paint on that part specifically. Ah, shoot, I keep touching this with my finger. Might have to sand that down later when it dries, we'll find out. Get to see the mistakes live as they happen, people. Now I'm just spraying brown paint onto the parts below. Or flicking it, I guess. Okay. And I think we'll give these little whisker jaw things the brown. think that's good. Blocking out the color on here for now. Just gonna precariously perch that somewhere. Oh yeah, you can see it in the corner. Now what sections on here are gonna get gold? Let's see. Actually, before that, I think we need to do the shoulders first. And yeah, we're gonna paint this band the brown. Then if we just take a, whoops. Stay. Just take a look what these will look like when they're combined. Yeah, I think that'll look good if we got the brown there. Maybe we'll put that on this part of the hand as well. Right, now I remember putting off the decision on how it was gonna block out the color on the hands. That's what I painted first. Nah, Ethan, I'm just painting this for display. It's not gonna be for Gamma Wolves. But you know, if I change my mind, I could always stick it to a base and make it work. I'm not sure exactly what my upcoming video schedule is gonna be, but one of the projects I am currently working on is painting more mechs for Gamma Wolves, so don't worry, there's more Gamma Wolves coming. I gotta finish the teams. But you know, it's a bigger project, so it's one of those long-term schedules. Lots of stuff to do before I can have an idea of when it'll come out. And also depends when I can pick up the real grade High New Gundam, because I also want to make a video on that. And that kit looks real fun. A Strike Freedom painted as a mini. Painted like a mini? Yeah, I'm sure a Strike Freedom would look good. Lots of fancy edges to highlight. There's a lot of mechs that would look good. The problem is it takes so long to paint them in this style. I gotta choose my projects wisely. And I also have a lot of unpainted models too. Gotta make sure I don't buy too many more. I can only... You know, I have no problem with having a backlog, but I only want my backlog to get so horrendous, you know? I think I'd rather paint an Astray or a Justice frame than a Strike. Yeah, I know what you mean, TK Slice. I'm a little nervous, but like I put in my pre-order for it with my local guy a while ago, so just gotta hope that he gets sent the stuff he ordered. Yeah, no, Mecha Gaikotsu did a review of it, and he gave it a really good review, so even more people are gonna want it. If I have to wait a long time before I can secure a copy, it won't be a big deal. That just probably means you'll see the Gamma Wolves video come out earlier. Yo, what up, Jetto? Thanks for coming. How's it going? What you up to? And Square Sphere, I'm sure that would be an interesting video, but I focus more on the painting for now. So you should check the guy who made the game Gamma Wolves. He's a YouTuber himself, so you should check out his YouTube channel called Gorilla Miniature Games, and he has content about playing Gamma Wolves. Be cool to, I've had an idea to do a live stream where I play Gamma Wolves at some point, but the COVID situation where I live right now, just it's too early to do in-person games still. Which is fine, because I have too much painting I need to do. Too many videos to make. I don't have time to actually play Gamma Wolves right now. But trust me, I want to. I don't want to go through all the effort of painting up the mechs for the game and then not playing it. But it might just be a thing where I keep it to enjoy off camera only and just keep the YouTube thing as painting focused. Yeah, I do know what you're up to, Jetto Hobby. Oh, did Jetto Hobby upload a short today? I haven't seen it. I don't have any plans to customize action figures, Ethan. I like action figures, but that's a thing like if I own or buy an action figure, it's very much like a separate thing from the models for me, because I'm like, oh, this already comes painted. I'll just enjoy it as it is. I do appreciate the people who do customize action figures, though. I think it's totally cool and definitely lots of crossover with that hobby. Yeah, White Wolf, I won't get too much into this situation in our province, but you could say it wasn't the best planning. I didn't have my local gaming store allowed people to book tables for gaming and stuff, but I was like, it still feels like it's too soon. Yeah, Jetto Hobby, my production schedule is kind of like yours, where it's like, I'll just upload the videos when they're ready. I'd like to stick to a schedule, but I won't hold myself to it. I'd rather just work on the videos and put them out when they're ready. Alright, time for coat number 2 on this tail. I'm feeling like it's gonna take 4 coats probably to get the finish I want, but maybe it'll look okay enough after 3. Time to put more snakebite leather on the pallet, people. For those of you that are, I know a decent amount of people ask me, or I've heard, just seen people ask in general about painting, like hand painting large, flat, smooth surfaces. This is, now you gotta witness it. It's just a lot of thin layers. Gotta have patience and perseverance. That's how to do it. Yeah, fun tangents like painting this LBX kit, White Wolf. Or that Gundam Flowros that led to me making a new stop motion intro. I'm sure Jetto Hobby agrees. You've gone on a few tangent projects before, wouldn't you say? Is that true? Gotta make sure I don't whack the mic with the barbecue skewer. Don't want to hurt your ears. Yeah, White Wolf, the best way to do it is just to jump in. Just embrace the mistakes. The first video you make will, or most people's first videos are pretty bad, so just kind of, the best way to get better is to put out bad videos and learn from your mistakes. I mean, you saw what or I'm assuming you watched my latest video and like saw what the footage of my first video looked like. I mean, obviously it's good to like want to have your videos look good, but best way to learn is through failure. Look at me with my on-brand messaging. Now, I haven't decided the areas that I haven't figured out what color I want them to be are the claws on the feet and I suppose this band on the arms is gonna be gold, and then probably this symbol on the hand, and then I think I'll probably keep everything else on the hand black, I'm feeling. Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, see what I mean, White Wolf? Yeah, very stark difference. When I was editing it, I made sure to like grab an especially egregious shot where like my face is creeping in from the side of the screen. And this underexposed image, you can barely tell like what I'm painting. And I thought that video was was pretty good when I released it. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get so many subscribers right away because this Monster Energy Marine. Yeah, stuff like that makes a big difference. Vertical mounts and just like reducing the amount of tripod clutter if you can. Definitely makes a difference. Yeah, there's a reason I quickly switched to doing an overhead camera or like a top-down camera setup for my second video. After making my first video, I realized I'm like, oh, that's why everyone or most people don't paint with the camera at this angle. It's really hard to see what's going on. I hadn't come up with my janky solution at the time of like putting my literal tripod on top of the desk and like using an older film camera as a counterweight. It was really janky. But then when I upgraded my camera, I spent a little extra money to get this Rode boom arm thing, and it's been great. One of the most important equipment purchases I've made. I also need to decide what color I'm gonna paint the sword, because you know it's gonna be glowing, because that's what I like to do. I just don't know what kind of glow. It should probably just stay the same glow that the body is gonna get, which is gonna be like a magenta-ish glow. And hopefully it won't look like there's too much magenta on the model. Been streaming for an hour and a half, not bad. Gonna keep going to at least 2 hours. Probably a bit longer. I should have the energy. Yep, it's the Rode PSA 1 is absolutely epic. Although if my camera was any heavier, I'm not sure if it would be the most appropriate equipment choice. My camera's a mirrorless body, so it's not too heavy. But I do have like a light or a smaller prime lens on it right now. If I had like my big zoom on it, it would probably sag a bit. Hope y'all like this early stage of the model where it's just messy base coats. When I have all the color blocked in, I should probably like reassemble it just to see what it all looks like together and see if I need to make any changes to the way I block out the colors. Before I go to the effort of giving everything its second base coat. And yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to paint his claws. No, they should look sharp, so I don't think I'll use the same brown. Maybe the black. Either that or I'll paint them with whatever color the sword gets painted if I want to go with a different one. So maybe I'll just put off making a decision on these claws on the feet for now. But the tail probably could use another base coat now. Yeah, let's just use up the brown that's on the palette, and then maybe we'll do a little cheeky reassemble and see how things look. What do you all think? Should the sword and like glowing arm blades and claws be magenta, or should I, or not magenta, like a kind of glowing magenta or purpley pink neon business? Should I do that, or should it be more of like a icy blue glow? Or I suppose I could do the same turquoise glow that like Heavy Arms Axe has. That might work. I just don't want to introduce too many different colors. Maybe this will need 5 coats before it's as even as I want it. Yeah, no, you're right, Jetto, but I prefer hand painting, I guess. Or the only airbrushing I wanted to do with this project was the priming. And yeah, I enjoy painting with the brush a lot more than I do like thinning paints for the airbrush and doing it the correct, efficient way, I guess. A pink and orange Zaku. I mean, if you pulled that off, it would be very eye-catching. That's definitely a tricky combo to pull off. But yeah, Jetto, how dare you point out the thing I'm doing inefficiently and be correct about your observations. Way to just call me out like that. One excuse I can make those, if the shade of brown or the coat of brown might look different from the hand painted areas, just because the airbrush coats can go on a bit more opaque sometimes. So to get it to match the other sections that are hand painted, I might have to paint a layer over top of it anyways, but that's a pretty weak excuse. Yes, stop pointing out my mistakes, Jetto, and just observe the kit when it's put together and critique my color separation instead. No, it's okay. I'm just being I'm just goofing around with you, Jetto. It's okay for you to call me out like that. It's the best way for me to improve. Whoops. What's going on here? Okay. Oh. Alright, people, what do you think of this color separation so far? I feel like I've struck a decent balance of the three main colors. Obviously, everything needs more coats, and the black areas haven't like properly been done. Yeah, your model, your way, exactly, Jetto. I don't know what Shin Matsunaga versus Ogre markings are for the water slides, but yeah, maybe like pink and orange. If it was green, maybe that would be Ogre themed because of Shrek, but I have no idea what those water slide decals look like, so I'm just talking randomly. Well, I don't feel like going back to base coating the brown and turquoise yet, so I'm gonna base coat the sections that'll be glowing purple, because that'll be fun to paint. Just gotta take this apart again. And we aren't using an old janky paint for that. We'll be using this model color Violet Red. Playfully needs more War Greymon, but I'm also biased towards War Greymon. Geckos are pretty cool. You know me, I like me some lizards. Just thin that with a bit of water. And just give y'all a peek at the vibrant paint water I've got going here. We got some nice kale juice. I'm sure it'll get a little browner once I start mixing in this purple. No, White Wolf, how dare you accuse me of being a filthy Skaven player. Skaven of my arch nemesis. I can barely stand playing them in Total War. Oh yeah, this is the kind of janky color palette I'm into. Purple, turquoise, and brown. Boy, got me a little careful painting these eyes. Well, if I mess up, it'll be easy to fix. Yeah, messed up a little bit. What do you mean, Skaven less than 3 TK slice? You mean you like those diseased rats? They're evil. We should probably paint these arms next. This long, wide, flat area is gonna need a couple coats. Yeah, it'll look even more cyberpunky when it starts getting highlighted, Jitto. I suppose this Fenrir model is a little cyberpunky as well. And I'll just paint one side at a time to avoid drying issues. Well, I'm glad you think so, White Wolf. They definitely look better together than I thought they would. My color selection process for this was heavily in the camp of like, well, I want to use my old janky paints because I need to save my good paints for other projects. And I want to try using some different colors from what I've been using on my Gamma Wolves lately, just because this one isn't going to be for Gamma Wolves. And you know how I like to switch things up like that. Yeah, I'm starting to feel like the sword is also gonna be purple, and I'm also gonna give him like purple glowing feet claws. He'll be only a close combat robot, and he'll just have a bunch of purple knives. That'll be its thing. I'm committing to it, everybody. Until I decide to change my mind. Ooh, that's some messy base coat in there. Oh yeah, you're right, this is my shirt color. Yeah, that's fair, TK Slice. I can respect that. Real life rats, I don't mind. I think they're kind of cute. And yeah, I kind of selected this shirt on purpose today because I knew it was kind of similar to the colors I would be painting. Now that I'm like seeing it on the stream though, it's definitely matches more than I thought it would. Now I should wear this shirt for every stream I do painting this many, but then the shirt will smell really bad by the end because it's gonna take a while to paint. Funny how things work out, isn't it? Whenever the next stream for this model is, I'll have to announce it with the point that I'm wearing the matching shirt. Like, come watch me stream this mini. I'm wearing a shirt that's in the same color scheme, everybody. Oh yeah, let's paint these nails purple. If only BlueParappa were here. I'll have to think of what other shirts I have in my arsenal that can be used to wear thematically for streams now. because I have a fair amount of colorful shirts. Let's get some more purple on the palette. One time I had to help a classmate with a group project by being on camera in front of a green screen for them, and I accidentally wore this shirt, so kind of ruined their shot because just there's all these vertical lines showing the keyed out area of the video. It wasn't for anything super important though, so we didn't bother refilming it with a different shirt. You're enjoying the shirt stream. Fantastic, Freddy. Yeah, maybe I need to change the way I'm writing the title for this. Like, shirt stream. Come watch me paint a model in the same colors as my shirt. That wasn't even planned. Oh, that might be a little like, weird way to title this stream. It'll just be our inside joke. Just us, the 13 of us watching right now. Or the 13 of you watching right now. I'm not watching, I am the stream. Oh, I definitely forgot to paint the back thrusters. I could have given these areas a white base coat before painting them purple to help me a bit with the vibrancy, but you know, like how Jetto pointed out with me painting the tail, I'm not taking the most efficient paths in this painting. I'm just slapping paint on a model and seeing what happens. Thanks, Nicholas. Thanks for stopping by. And don't feel bad about needing to leave. Welcome to the shirt stream, as the Fantastic Freddy says, where I paint a model in my shirt colors, accidentally. Okay. Well, these purple areas are definitely going to need multiple coats, like lots of parts. I think now we're going to get some black on the palette and just finish blocking out the colors with the black sections. And then we'll have a nice, neat four-corner palette going. And hopefully we'll have enough room for all the highlights I'll need to be mixing, because it's going to be one messy palette. One messy WAP, as they'd say. One messy WAP, more like one messy paint job, Liam. Alright, I forgot I need to paint the purple on his jetpack. So have I convinced any of, or have any of you watching gotten the desire to build an LBX kit yet? How many of you had never heard of LBX before today? Might as well just use up this purple I got on here. Good to hear, Nicholas. Or good to read, I suppose. Come to the streams, you can hear my jokes get crafted on the spot. Read in the iconic monotone sarcasm voice. LBX stands for Little Battler's Experience. I'll have a little like tangent about LBX in my next video, or I'll try and give like a nice succinct explanation. I think they're essentially just like kits from a kind of a kids anime that aired at one point, where the theme is like the characters each have their own little robot companion that fights other people's robots, but they're like little, so this kit is like 1-to-1 scale according to the show, I think. So it's just a cute little robot fighting show. As far as I know, I don't know much about it because BlueParappa is the one who's been buying the LBX kits. Okay, now let's base coat the black sections. I'm just gonna take 30 seconds to stretch, which is important to do, everybody. Yeah, that's right, Dan with a plan. They are 1-to-1 scale, apparently. And White Wolf, I've never heard of LBX being used in Battletech. That would be cool to see on the tabletop. I enjoy the LBX designs more than the Battletech designs. This army painter matte black has a nice matte finish, but its coverage leaves something to be desired for me, so I'm trying to use up this bottle. Oh, I see what you mean, Well, if you're referring to the acronym of LBX, not the LBX models. Okay, that makes more sense. These kits would be too big to use in the Battletech tabletop game anyways. Alright, only a couple black sections on the legs. Guess I'll just move on right to the next leg. Oh, we broke 2 hours, people. Been streaming for 2 hours. Gonna keep going though. At least until I've got all the black base coats down. See how I'm feeling after that. Sorry if I keep moving the piece out of focus constantly. Try and check as often as I can, but I get in the zone with the brush strokes, you know? Don't always pay attention. Excuse me. Alright, thanks for stopping by, Jetto Hobby. Catch you next time. Good luck with your upcoming Jetto hobbies. Painting with acrylics, Nathaniel? Thin the paints. Or you have to like practice and get the feel of thinning them to the point where they're not too thin. Because if they're too thin, it's hard to control them. But if it's too thick, then when you apply it to the model, you'll have too many... You won't have like a good finish. And yeah. And when you're painting with a brush, this isn't just for acrylics, but just all paints in general. You want to avoid getting paint in the area where like the bristles start. It's called the... I can't remember what it's called, but you don't want to get paint here because the paint will like go inside the structure of the brush and dry and force the bristles apart. So one aspect of just good brush maintenance is to... I'll just try and do an example. Like, I've loaded the brush here, if the camera wants to focus, but I don't have any paint like where the metal area is, if that makes sense. That'll help your brushes last longer. Oops, we're out of focus. My bad. Yeah, I don't know what the best tips for painting acrylics are right off the top of my head, because acrylics compared to enamels and lacquers are just a lot easier to work with. But you also gotta remember that they're the most fragile out of those 3 types of paints. you want to get fancy with the acrylics, you can thin them with various mediums instead of water, like, or custom mixtures of like water and matte medium or satin varnish. Everyone kind of has their different recipes, and there's so many painting tutorials out there in the like miniature painting sphere that are all like using acrylics, so there's tons of knowledge to absorb out there surrounding hand painting acrylics. But you can also use them in the airbrush as well, and you don't have to worry about fumes as much, just particles in the air. There's a lot of different kinds of acrylics too, like heavy body acrylics or acrylic inks. Some of these chest areas are gonna be a little tricky to get in without messing up the turquoise and purple. Oops, yeah, I got a little black on the purple there. Oh well. There's bound to be some mistakes. At least I think I'm managing to keep it in focus now. Yeah, Vallejo's thinner medium, definitely used that. Sometimes I just like thin with glaze medium, even if I'm not glazing. Oh yeah, no, I have multiple brands of thinner as well, White Wolf, because I don't know, my hobby store, like they kind of fluctuate with, or the usual hobby store I go to, they fluctuate with the amount of like airbrushing specific stuff they have. And then like the other stores I go to, sometimes they don't always have the thing I'm looking for, so I'll buy a different brand. I'm just like hoping it'll serve this same purpose. I don't necessarily have my like go-to thinner yet. So I also have a lot of different thinners. I don't have 8 though, you're definitely winning in that department. Mr. Color? I think Mr. Color's acrylics. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, I haven't used Mr. Color. Don't quote me on that. And I know like some acrylics have more like of a chemical smell than others. So some like acrylics might be harsher chemical wise. Like if you opened up a Tamiya acrylic and gave it a whiff and then compared it to the smell of a Citadel paint, it might smell a bit more chemically, if that makes sense. I don't actually know what the recipes or like components are though, so sorry I can't help you there. Can anyone else in the chat tell us what Mr. Color is? Is it enamel, acrylic, or lacquer? I'm pretty sure it's acrylic. Oh, they have acrylic and lacquer. Gotcha. Thanks, Dan with a plan. Alright, time to go back to the arms. I'm still kind of on the fence as to what color I want the hands to be. I'm not sure if I want them to be all black or to have like the main section of the hand be turquoise and then just the fingers be black. And when I say black, it's gonna get edge highlighted like with my Gamma Wolves. So it's gonna end up being something that that's like a bit more interesting than just a black. Yeah, I've never used Mr. Color. From what I know, that's more of like a scale modeling brand of paints than a miniature painting brand. So maybe they're like meant for airbrushing, but you could probably hand paint with them too. What paints do you have, Nathaniel? Have you done any painting yet, or are you just looking to buy some paints to get started? You can tell we're past the 2-hour mark of the stream because I'm running out of talking energy. Haha. Right. Having a harder time talking into the void about random things. Alright, I think we just got one more arm before the black base coat's kind of done. Oh, Rust-Oleum spray cans, yeah. Well, I mean, you might as well start somewhere. The problem with those, like, hardware store spray cans is you gotta make sure they don't go on too thick. I know I've definitely heard of some miniature painters using Rust-Oleum before. It's probably a better spray paint to use for low-risk stuff like terrain. Nice, well good luck on your continued painting journey, Nathaniel. Just if you're using lacquers or enamel, make sure you wear a respirator. And it doesn't hurt to wear a respirator if you're airbrushing acrylics as well, but you don't need to if you're hand painting acrylics. I'm not wearing one right now, so. Whoops, that was out of focus again, hee hee. Alright, see ya, Fantastic Freddy, thanks for coming by. Avoid Krylon at all costs, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that's kind of why I mentioned I feel like it would be better to use on like low risk projects like terrain or something. If you just want like to use really cheap paints on it. I've had I've had like bad experiences with crappy, or like not crappy, but like cheap cans of spray paint on minis before. This was all a long time ago. Oops, don't touch the wet paint. Sanosuke. Konnichiwa. I don't know what time it is in Tokyo right now, or Japan. Would be like early in the morning. Thanks for coming, Sanosuke. Yokuso. I think let's go back to base coating the turquoise. Yeah, no, let's try painting the turquoise on the hands. Nah, I should just focus on, the base coats for now. Snasuke-san, o genki desu ka? Yeah, I think I'll probably just use up the paint that's on the palette right now, and then I should probably wrap the stream up. It's getting a little tired. Don't want to overwork myself. Wonder if Sanosuke knows LBX. I mean, Danbooru Senki. A real great Astray, red and gold frame Amatsumina and the Destiny. Yeah, it's important to focus on school, can't forget that. But that does sound like a cool kit bash idea. I think those mechs would probably go well together. The gold frame Amatsuminas, I'm using some pieces from that for a kit bash coming up soon. I used those in my I used the parts of the spear in my goof. Gotten a lot of value out of that real grade kit, but the kit by itself, it's a little flimsy. Definitely has early real grade syndrome, as they say. Don't touch the wet paint, Liam. Let's move on to another piece. Prop that up in a unsafe way as usual. Which side has dry paint? Okay. Let's do this leg. Let's just do a little purple before this stuff dries up. And back to the turquoise. It's coming together now, people. Arigato, Sanasuke-san. Yeah. もっと勉強しなきゃ。でも難しいですね。もっと筆塗りペイントをしなきゃ。時間がありませんよ。もっと時間が欲しいです。Whoops. Sugi no ashi. Time for the next leg. You're debating keeping the Blitz Gundam arm, and you love the shield launcher. Yeah, that arm on the Amatsumina, I definitely like the look of that one over the other arm. The claw thing he has on its other hand is also pretty cool. Don't know what I want to use that bit for. I'm saving it for a kit bash someday. I just haven't found the right one yet. Oh, why'd I grab that arm? I said I was gonna paint the leg. Running out of turquoise paint. Should I switch to another? We got some black left on the palette. Let's use that up. We can use up this last bit of purple though. I can just get a tiny bit going. Now I'll go to that black. I don't know, people, I'm getting a little tired. Don't know how much more painting I got left in me. Well, I definitely passed the 2.5 hour mark, so that's a good benchmark for me. I can't remember the exact length of my other streams, but I know they're all kind of around that 2.5 hour mark. So I'm just gonna use up the rest of the paint on my palette. But, you know, obviously this this model has a lot more work to do, so there will be more streams coming. Just make sure you follow me on the Twitters and Instagrams, or here with the YouTube community posts, and I'll post when the next one will be when I know when it's gonna be. Probably not till like sometime during the week. And I am gonna paint some of it off camera, because I can't stream all the time. Well, let's put them together and just see what it looks like, because that's always fun. But I'm hoping to finish this model relatively soon, so I'm gonna be painting it a lot over the next few days when I have the time, and I'll stream when I'm able to. And let's get that tail, which I haven't touched in a while. Glad you think so, Dan, with the plan. Well, here it is, put together with essentially just the base coats, and I think it's looking pretty sweet. What do you all think? Here, I'll do some live phone photography of it as well. Gotta take my whip. Arigato, Snasuke. Glad you like it. Okay, let's take a picture. Hands are a little shaky. I haven't had too much coffee today. Okay, well, thanks everyone who came to the stream today. And yeah, like I said a minute ago, there'll be more streams, so just follow me on the usual places. I try to schedule them ahead of time when I can. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.